Welcome to the GM screen. Here we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons with me, Drakner, and
Seamus.
Shamey Wamey,
Seamus.
my little compatriot in the dungeons.
I'm not a compatriot. I am your arch nemesis. Silence you.
I have a nemesis.
We're talking about 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons and some other things that are Dungeons and Dragon-esque. Also random bullshit that we just happen to spout from our mouth
Oh,
holes.
duh. I mean, we've been playing for a long ass time. Well,
Yes. Well, relatively. I mean, there's grognards older than we, but approximately 12 to 15 years each
yeah,
is not unreasonable.
it isn't unreasonable. I mean, we've both played a bunch of 3rd edition and 3.5. You played mostly a lot of 4th compared to me. I played like 4 sessions of 4th before I said nope.
I didn't play a ton of it or anything. Don't make me sound like a 4th edition sympathizer, okay? It still wasn't
Okay,
good.
you actually
It
ran more
was
games than I
available.
did.
Shh.
It's okay. It's okay. Come
I
on.
also played first, and second I didn't actually play that. All came through
Yeah.
Vidya, but a bunch of first, bunch of basic,
Mm-hmm.
bunch of basic. We did a lot of Red Box Moldvay, and then I also own a copy and have played a bunch of the Holmes edition as well.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been having fun with 5th edition as well as other systems as we've been talking about through various recordings. Hey, as I say, we do enjoy 5th edition.
I think it's a good game. I think it isn't the best game right now for the Broken Blade, simply because we've been kind of moving away from the fantasy genre, and so
Yeah.
we've kind of pushed ourselves towards like Savage Worlds, pretty much entirely towards Savage Worlds. But I mean, if we ever jump back into fantasy, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be in the 5th edition.
Yeah. The 5th edition D&D because it is perfect for high fantasy.
It is. It's perfect for high fantasy. You wouldn't want to play like a low fantasy. Like Conan is a game I would still run through
Or
Savage Worlds.
Haladar. Your
Yes,
custom world. Your
I own
custom.
personal game world. Yes, that's definitely not a D&D game. I tried. There are versions of it that exist that have high fantasy and
Yeah.
large number of races and all that kind of stuff, and it just doesn't. It's not the same.
It just doesn't work. It just didn't work. It doesn't work out for a low fantasy game because it's based on lots of magic. I mean, there's not there's a good balance of like this is like a 50-50 right now. I'm thinking of casters and non-casters, but even the
In
non-casters can become casters.
Yeah, in 5th edition, there's like two classes that don't have any access to magic. That'd be the barbarian, and I think there might be one more. Maybe. Can you think of another one?
Fighter maybe.
Nope. Fighter gets the spell sword.
Then
It's the,
just
whatever it's called.
just the barbarian because monk can cast spells with its fists.
Right? Paladins are obviously magical. Rangers are magical.
Yeah.
Thieves, rogues get the arcane trickster.
Yep.
Uh,
Rangers get spells like they did before.
I said that one already.
Yeah.
Bards are inherently magical. Clerics are inherently magical. Wizards, sorcerers, warlocks. Yeah, I think it's just the barbarian, the only class that can't access magic.
And now we're gonna find it. Someone is gonna tell us, no, they get this class also.
Well, I mean,
I'm
they arguably have magic in their own special way, but it's not casting like all the other classes
no,
can.
yeah, but still, I mean, there's a heavier focus on spell casting in this edition versus 3rd edition, where you had a lot. It was about well, the monk didn't cast spells, but it became magical, but didn't cast any spells
Well, and
as
I
a
mean,
straight
if there's the
class.
first edition, first and basic set, I mean, there was like you had the wizard, who was inherently magical, and the
Mm-hmm.
cleric got spells, but he didn't even get the cleric didn't even start getting spells until second level, and everything else was non-magical. In fact, barbarians back in the early days couldn't even use magic, like magical items. I think magical items were okay, but they didn't want like if you had a wizard in your party
Mm-hmm.
and you were playing a barbarian, you couldn't let the wizard cast beneficial magic on you because you were too superstitious.
Ah,
Clerical magic was okay because gods and stuff, but
shamanistic.
you kept an eye on the cleric just so he didn't get all funny on you.
Hey,
Uh,
I heard you didn't like my god. Whip some
well,
magic on you.
in, in 3rd edition, that became the Forsaker, the prestige class in
Hmm.
what is that? What book was that? one of the barbarians, the rangers.
Probably if it's one of those, it's going to be complete warrior.
No, it was well. I mean, it might have come out in the complete series. I never updated to 3.5.
Not fully
Would
like
have
I
been
did.
the Sword and Fist, Tome and Blood, Song and Silence,
Masters of
Masters of
the
the Wild.
Wild.
Yeah, Masters of the Wild. That's the book.
Yeah.
It's like, what
Oh,
was that, the splat book?
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember some broken things in a third edition, like from those splat books, they could be really broken. Fate
Eh,
Spinner,
so,
Ninja the Crescent Moon.
it
I
just
mean,
there's broken and there's broken and truly broken things, the things your DM should just stop and be like, no, dude, just don't do it. But there's stuff that's like a little broken. You'd be like, well, I'll just up some difficulty here,
yeah,
and it will be fine. And
it'll be
that's
all good.
oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
it'll be all good. Yeah, it's just this. I'm just saying that things can. If you're not careful as the game master, you can have potentially broken characters. Well, there are characters that are really good at something, and there's broken. Like they will just destroy everything in their path.
You mean rogues and hide and move silently?
It's like
Period.
I mean, it's like that's all they really. That's their like primary focus as a class.
Okay, there's being good at it, and there's getting to the point where you pretty much don't have to roll dice anymore because by about level 5, any rogue worth his salt is getting like a plus 20 to those dice rolls for
Yeah,
hide move silently. It's silly. It doesn't make any sense. It's one of the things they fixed in fourth and fifth edition that I think I approve of.
yeah, because the only one
I,
who can get really high in their skill checks is a bard.
well, and even then, it's like you get your proficiency bonus and a half, right?
I think it's double. Might be wrong. It's been a while since I played my bard,
Yeah, I know.
but bards are awesome.
And my PHB is way on the bookshelf all the way over there. I'm so lazy. Oh well.
Pull up your phablet.
I don't know, my tablet's around here somewhere too. It's missing. I think it's on the couch. Far too. Oh, I can even see it. It's about 2 feet away from me. It can stay there. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like they did a good balancing act in fifth edition. I mean, the one other thing is like the skill checks that from. I'm gonna compare third because I have more experience in that than fourth edition. But okay, well, this would be a really difficult task. Take a -5 to that or something like that. I mean, you have to take -2 is one.
Two.
Yes.
Two is the average. In the
But
DMG they called it the golden rule, or the DM's rule, or the
But they
DM's
all-
friend, or something.
Yeah, but they also
That's-
had other. They had like, okay, if it's really difficult, extremely difficult. Was it? The example was climbing up a sheer cliff without equipment, and it had been raining.
You're thinking of the big chart with all of the DCs and their suggestions based on
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh DC. Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking DCs.
Yeah, it wasn't modifiers, it was a straight up DC.
But
But I think the
now
highest was a 30, right? And
Yeah.
and
that was
and that wasn't unreasonable for even like a DC 30 hide or move silently for like a 10th level rogue. Like, I can do that. It's no problem. Watch me.
well, that's your thing. I mean, that's your thing. If you're but now we have.
Yeah, but that's like damn near impossible, and we're like halfway to the level cap. I still think it's a problem, but again, this is an old edition of the game,
Yeah.
and 2 editions behind now. Whatever, can't complain.
Yeah, now we have Now it's easier to do instead of plus or -2. It's advantage disadvantage.
Yep.
So it's like okay, oh you're really good at it. You know what? You have the advantage. Roll 2 dice, take the highest. You have disadvantage. Roll 2 dice, take the lowest. Which normally is to d20s. You're not going to be doing that with d10s or d6s for damage or anything like that. It's going to be your d20s for attacking or a skill check. At least as I've noticed in the games we've been playing.
Indeed, and the disadvantage and advantage mechanic is a good one. I mean, though I've heard some minor complaints, but only because it's so different than everything else, right? Like it's never something like that has never occurred in D&D previously. So you get those nerds who are just like, no, it's different. Rage.
Oh
But
yeah,
that's unusual. I mean, overall, I haven't heard, aside from like one, maybe two exceptions, no one's had anything negative to say about fifth edition.
mm,
Honestly, I think it came to a reception of a lot of like, oh hey, that's a new edition, and that's been a lot about it,
yeah,
right? It hasn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's gotten critical acclaim. It won an Annie Award for best game and best RPG product. There was like one other award this year. Like it did well as far as RPG awards go, but like the general overall has been from everyone I've talked to, like, yeah, it's good,
yeah.
and nobody's raving about it like it's the best game ever because
No,
it's
it's
still just D&D. Well, it's
no,
the best edition of D&D, but it's still just D&D, and I think that's a good thing. It needs to just be D&D, but
it's true. I mean,
it's not a lot of excitement about that.
no, I mean, there's some people were excited about it because they wanted to get away from fourth. They wanted something new that they could skip from third to fifth.
I don't think there was a lot of that, honestly. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, if you were in third, right, and then the fourth edition happened, you either stuck with or went to fourth edition,
Yep.
or you went to Pathfinder.
Or you stuck it with what we did.
Yeah, but there was a very small percentage of people who
That's
stuck
true.
with third,
That's true.
and even then, most of those people were just like, I'm okay. I've been playing this for years. I mean, a bunch of people did that with second and first edition too. I don't need a new edition. My books are perfectly fine. I'll be.
Yeah,
Yes, you're right. Your books are fine, but the fifth edition's nice. It's a good game.
it's a good game, and if you don't like, if the people who don't like it, the change in editions, they usually meander, as you said, meander off into a different game. You know, a lot of people who switched over to Pathfinder.
Shudder.
I don't know what. Okay. No, we're not gonna get into that.
I'll get into that. You Pathfinder people suck. Oh, every time it was mentioned, every time.
Eh,
Oh, D&D. I did fourth edition for a little bit, but I stuck with third. Oh, I moved to Pathfinder. It's so much better. It's not better. It's different,
it
but it's
is.
just more rules. No
Yeah.
thanks.
Hey.
I'm fine. But I know that's not actually accurate. There were some big changes, and there were definitely some improvements. I
Yeah.
just the smugness of the Pathfinder people every time they talk to me. Oh, you haven't moved over to Pathfinder yet? It's like talking to those overtly like ministering Christian folks.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't moved over to Pathfinder yet? Oh, honey, please. It's the best.
And the Midwest hates us already.
I hate the Midwest too.
No, you don't.
It's not the Pacific Northwest. Go fuck yourself. I think the people who are offended by that statement about oh, honey, please, Pathfinder. You're either offended at me because I'm making fun of Pathfinder, and then you're just nerd raging, whatever, nerd rage, or you're offended at me for already saying fuck earlier, so whatever, I don't care. Moving on.
Yeah. We generally try to keep it PG, but we do have a strong language. It doesn't matter. This is the internet. But
Was this supposed to be?
no,
I have had too many beers for this to be PG.
no. We're going for PG-13. We still have like 20 more to go.
Oh, we got as many fucks as we need then.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Uh, the rules of fifth edition are great. I would say great. They're good.
They're great. It's a very solid rule system. It's a good one. It's just I think the biggest issue with fifth edition is that it doesn't stand out in any particular way. It's just Dungeons and Dragons, which is old hat. I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it. It's the first, arguably, RPG, and because it's the first, unless you're gonna change it dramatically like they did with fourth edition, it's not gonna garner a lot more than, oh, that's nice.
That's, that's nice, honey.
Oh, honey.
Oh, that's cute. You play an edition. Yeah. I do like the stats system that they put in, like caps at 20. No higher. That's kind of nice.
With that, but at the same time, they said, however, if you want to play after 20, you can, and here's some potential rewards for after 20.
Well, I meant the stats itself. Like the
Oh, yes.
yeah, stats itself are hardline
With
20.
magical item exceptions,
Well, I
obviously.
mean,
Your
yeah.
belt of hill giant strength that gave you like strength of 25 or whatever.
27.
Oh, it must have been like a frost giant or strength or something like that. Cloud giant, some kind of giant that isn't hill, because hill giants suck apparently.
Hillbilly giants.
Not hillbilly giant. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh.
I like that. The skill system is nice because you can't go hog wild on one skill and be the best thing ever at. Like, I think I'm gonna sneak today. Did I roll a 1 just to get under like 20?
Yeah, the skill system was simplified. I mean, it was made reasonable. I mean, you could set a DC at 15 and still
Yeah.
potentially have people failing it at a level 10, 12, 13, because, disadvantage for starters can occur, and second, like the numbers aren't all that high.
No,
Like
you like a
if your stat is maxed in that at the natural max of 20, right? You're getting a +5 there,
yep.
right? And at like level 1 through 5, it's your proficiency bonus is +2, which means your maximum is a 7.
Yep. I
And
mean,
and that's a big bonus, but it's not game breaking.
no, it's not. I mean, I think yeah, the only one yeah, 1 through 5 is 2, and then at the end it's +6. The exception being, I know the bard gets it where it's one and it's you added another half
But it's only for certain skills,
only for like a specific. You choose you do it on a specific skill. So you're like,
right?
okay, I need my stealth to be better. So let's see, you get 5. Max it out. We'll say hard cap. We'll do the soft cap really. No, the hard cap unless magical. +9. That's pretty good.
But
But it's
that's at
only
level
on
20, right?
that's a level like 17. I think is when you
Well,
get
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, because that's when you hit your last of your proficiency bonuses.
You get
But
your
that's the highest of the highest, right? 17, 18, 19, 20. Like those are the highest of the levels.
yeah
You're expected to be particularly good at certain things. And it's a bard with very specific circumstances. It's like how what are we calling the S-man? Well, because we're not using real names.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Seamus might as well be my real name, but the doctor,
Yeah,
professor. I'm calling him professor from now on.
that's fine.
Anyway,
Mad scientist.
we were in like what, a week of fifth edition, and Professor had already figured out a way to break the AC on the fighter in certain circumstances to like an AC of 30. Right? Like
Yes.
it's still breakable. It's not a perfect game, and leave it to our number crunching, scientist to have figured that out. But
Yep.
it's certainly better than third edition was, where especially 3.5 with the addition of synergy bonuses, it got stupid how high those abilities could get. Those
Yeah.
skills could
It,
get.
it took him a while to figure that out. Mind you, okay. Given enough time, any gamer can break a system.
Sure, but I mean, and admittedly, it's Professor, but I mean, he did it in like. It's like we had the game for a week. He didn't even have the game. He had like the intro starter rulebook thing, the free one that they have on the
Yep.
website, and he broke the game. But I digest.
Well, you are digesting.
I just had dinner. I
Yeah.
digest.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like I'll look at any game, and someone will find a way of making a min max character. In third edition, there are characters like Pun Pun,
Yes.
and then the hulking world hurlers. I mean, I'm not going to be easy. You're not going to be seeing that in fifth edition right now. Someone might figure it out how to make that to happen, but that's the GM's discretion. Going, no,
Well,
no.
and a lot of that has become a thing with fifth edition, where they put an awful lot more of the onus on the GM to, be a game master again. I mean, they by by fifth edition, or sorry, by third edition, they were just the guy who happened to tell the story, and the rules handled everything else.
Yeah,
But back in first edition, and very well mirrored in fifth edition, they're not a narrator, right? They're not a
no,
dungeon master. They are a an adjudicator, right? Their job is to play the impartial mediator in the game, right? This is the world, this is its inhabitants, and these are you. And my job is not to lead you by the nose through a story. That's not what D&D does,
no.
right? And my job is to present you to the world, and you to make your own way in it, and I will adjudicate it neutrally. I am a judge. What was the term they kept using? It wasn't judge. It was.
I'm trying to remember.
This is gonna drive me nuts.
You know what? Let's call him Judge, because there was a specific line in
That's
the third edition DMG. You know this line. The DM has final say.
It's highlighted in my Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yep, the one bound in duct tape.
Yes,
Old ducky.
it fell apart. It's over a decade old.
I know. It's still
bound to happen. The
It's,
thing got taken with me to school every single day through high school and junior high.
nerd.
You know it every single day, and that's why they're in pieces,
Yeah.
held together by duct tape, and
Yeah.
love, duct tape and love.
When you love a book,
You
duct tape it. You duct tape it to keep it forever. So yeah, you could just go out and buy it again. The special editions they did.
Not that one.
Oh,
that
no,
has
yeah.
so many memories.
Actually, no, you can't actually buy third edition. 3.5, yes. And
That's
second
true.
edition.
There's no getting my copy of the DMG ever again, ever.
But that happens. But it's
That's
why you
okay.
treasure books.
Covered the duct tape with it. I probably should have. I could have gotten it bound,
You
but
could
you
have,
know,
but yeah.
poor college student and all that at the time. Anyway,
Yeah, but
so D&D, that is what we're talking
well,
about.
we are.
Is
We're
that-
actually we're reminiscing right now.
we're reminiscing. Well, nobody wants to hear us reminisce.
Somebody does.
What is the? I mean, overall, I mean, aside from like 5th edition, which is what you told me the topic was when we.
I mean,
got to
it's like pretty much just how we love, what we think about it. What we're talking about.
It's a good system. I mean, it's solid. It doesn't fit really for us at the moment. The Broken Blade as a gaming club has kind of moved into the sci-fi realm, and we've got like a Victorian steampunk game going through Savage Worlds coming up here soon.
Yep.
You've teased Hackmaster as much as everyone in the group has been kind of like, eh. I think you've got one other member of the group, one other member of the Broken
Two.
Blade. So.
I got two.
What are we calling my wife?
We have Phoenix, and we have Very.
Is she going by Phoenix?
Yes.
That's what she's decided by? Okay. So we got Phoenix and So Very Original is in on Hackmaster, huh?
He wants to try it.
Alright. So that's a game, folks. If you know nothing about Hackmaster, you're in for a treat.
We're gonna
Right?
talk
You want to
about
go look it up. And you want to learn that it was a joke game that was lots of fun. And then they came up with their own game when Wizards removed the license for D&D's rules. And after that, they came up with a system that makes lots of sense from a relatively realistic standpoint, and from a DM standpoint is hell on earth to run.
Oh no! So later on, we'll be getting into that in a full-on video.
Fine, another time.
Yeah, we have topics. I mean,
Oh, fine. Oh, God, that game. Anyway, Dungeons
Yeah.
and Dragons. So what else is there to talk about?
I mean,
5th edition's fun.
I gotta say this. There's some things in 4th edition I actually really did enjoy.
Yes, and they brought those over to 5th edition, like at-will spells.
Yeah,
That
Will
was
Spells,
a-
one of
yeah.
them. But I don't think they brought back, because I haven't looked through the monster manual. As a player, until I'm gonna run a game, I don't look at the monster manual.
That's good of you.
As a general
I
rule.
can't do that.
Well, you run games, so
That's
you-
true. I am also a dungeon master, so that would be silly of me
Yeah.
to not look at the DMG or the monster manual. Or the
Both,
DMG.
yeah. But minions,
Oh yeah, that's gone. That's a long gone rule. I mean, not that you couldn't bring it back. It's just not officially in the.
it's
in the
not
monster-
officially in there. That's the only thing. It's like that one I actually like. I like the one-hit mooks, where you're going through a hall, and there's the big baddie at the end, but you don't want to send wave after wave of. You want to send you want to send wave after wave of men at the party, but you don't want them to be bogged down by it because you want to get there quickly. So you set up like 40 to 50 minions.
Minions who would just die in one shot because they had one hit point.
They had one.
But they could put out some damage.
That was
I don't know. It felt gamey to me, right? I mean, that was a lot of the problem with 5th edition in general. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong,
mean
D&D's
4th
a
edition?
game. 4th edition. I like 5th edition. What am I saying?
we'll
5th
say.
edition's fantastic. My problem with 4th edition was very gamey. Like, don't get me wrong, D&D's a game, right? It's definitively a game. And it's not even like a storytelling game like some others. Like Savage Worlds, you can say, is very definitively about pushing forward a story, right?
Yeah.
Your goals aren't, like D&D. The goal is go kill stuff and take their shit, right? That is D&D's core, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go get better at being awesome by killing stuff and taking their things.
Yeah, that's
But 4th edition took it to a special level. Like, Like magical items became so droll, right? Oh look, another +4 Vorpal sword. I guess I'll just throw this away. I don't need it because they just meant nothing.
Yeah.
Which I mean was a nice contrast to third edition where gear made you, right? You were nothing without it.
Tell that to
But fifth,
the fighter with a full plate.
because the fighter needed his magical full plate and his magical sword, and if he was a shield carrying character, his magical shield. Otherwise, he was useless. You can take all of the gear, magical gear, from a fighter in first or fifth edition, and they're still awesome fighters. They're
Mm-hmm.
not as awesome as they would be with their gear, but they're
Yeah,
still awesome.
it's true. Yes, it's true. I mean, fighter with that. I mean, a fighter in third edition. If you were to run a level 20 fighter, were to run naked into an encampment of orcs.
Well, you'd still waste the orcs, but
When I say naked, I mean no weapons either. But
well, you'd still waste the orcs. I mean, your
probably
strength modifier alone, let's assume. Anyway, yeah, no.
you're nothing.
There's still orcs. There's still orcs if you're level
You,
20.
yeah,
You can still cleave orcs with your fists. You kind of seem like a monk at that point.
like the fighter goes, "Oh, I'm a monk now." The monk's like, sigh. Actually, the only character in third edition who could get it by without any items is the monk.
Yeah, especially if you took that. What was that thing from the
Book of Exalted Deeds.
yeah, the
Vow
of
of
poverty.
Poverty.
Fuck the vow of poverty. That was the word. Everybody always wanted. If you were a monk, I was like, I'm gonna be. I'm going to take a vow of poverty. You can take a vow of poverty. I'm not giving you the rules. Screw you. It's all kinds
Yep.
of giant middle finger to the DM.
Book of Exalted Deeds. DM only.
Yeah.
Book of Vile
That-
Darkness. DM only. Unless you wanted to run an OP one shot.
Which
Then
I did that once. That was fun. I made the most badass of samurai.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, the twink, the most twinky of twinks in our group who made the most broken characters who thought I'm the best at this, and I said, really? Well, I'm the DM. That's why you don't see me do it. It's like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna run a special like overpowered one shot. You bring whatever you want to the table, and I brought a special samurai to the table and one shot at his because he brought his own characters as the villains for his one shot, and I one shot one of his characters. It's like, oh, you are really good at this. It's like, dude, I have to know this game. I run it.
Yes, you do. As a GM, the system, you have to know the ins and outs of it, which is horrifying when you're first starting a game setting or game system. It's like when you first start it, you're like, wow, somebody's gonna run me over with this. Someone's gonna figure it out and destroy me. Destroy
It's
myself.
why it's best to start if you're going to start with a game like Savage Worlds or Warrior Rogue Mage or Foo, something
Yeah.
simple, something easy. D20 Micro Light.
Oh no, I'm talking about like when you're switching to a new system. Like
Oh, yeah, wow.
that's what I'm talking about. So you've been gaming for years, and like you know what? I'll give that I'll give Savage Worlds a try. And like you have no one else in the group to play it, but you have that one guy who is the little rules lawyer, which we're gonna talk about different types of players another time with everybody, because
Okay.
and how to handle them. So I gotta drop some hints for the future stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, good for me to know. I'll put it in my notes so I know what to expect in the future because this is news to me.
Oh yeah, well, you haven't seen my spreadsheet yet.
I haven't seen your. You should share that spreadsheet with me.
Spread it out.
So what else? What else should we talk about as far as?
I think
goes?
it's really that's about it. That's all I can think of. I mean, we like this. We like the way they're going with fifth edition. They're not pumping out a book a month.
No, but they're. I mean, I can see how they're aiming to make money. I mean, their big thing is to do these campaigns twice a year, two to three times a year,
right.
and that pulls out revenue, right? And then to kind of like intertwine it all with all of their other mediums, right? Their board games and their video games, everything together. And I mean, it works. I've put more money into D&D lately than I have in years, and I think that's a big part of that is because their marketing scheme's been really good. Which is funny because we're not playing it really. Like the current D&D game we have is coming to a close. There's no current D&D games on the horizon. Like we've got 3 Shadowrun games running and nothing but Shadowrun or Hackmaster.
Why are you
BattleTech, A Time of
no.
War might
Hey,
happen.
you saying Shadowrun? You mean Savage Worlds?
Savage Worlds.
Do
I
you want
meant
to play
Savage.
Shadowrun now?
I
Okay.
don't. I've got to run A Time of War. That's the game I'd like to run. I'd like to
Okay.
play the BattleTech
We
RPG.
should really talk about that at some point. But I think
should.
that's about it for. We will talk about some. We'll discuss some other opportunities to discuss other systems later.
Sounds good. Hey, my, we have, hey subscribers. There's like 3 of you.
We
Like
love you.
we've got like 8. We've got like 8, but like most of them are us. So the 3 of you who subscribed, I love you.
We do.
Thanks for listening to our ramblings.
Yeah.
We'll talk about other things some other time.
We will.
Some random stuff about D&D.
Drop a like if you like the video. Drop a dislike if you don't.
Don't drop
And-
it. If you don't like my video, just walk away.
Comment on it if you have questions, concerns, or is there a system out there you want us to discuss?
Actually, leave a limerick in the comments. Nobody ever does, but I'd love it.
Oh, limericks would be awesome. But y'all have a good day.
Latest.
Bye.